It all began the day my husband, Mark, told me his teenage son from his previous marriage would be moving in with us permanently. "Jessica, I know it's sudden," Mark said while pouring his morning coffee, "but Kevin needs a stable home, and his mom is going through some rough things." I blinked, processing the change. We'd only been married 6 months, and while I'd met Kevin a few times, I hadn't expected to become a full-time stepmom so soon. "Of course," I smiled, trying to keep the nervousness out of my voice. "We'll make it work." Kevin moved in the following weekend. He was 17, tall, lanky, and had an intense stare that made me uncomfortable at first. He wasn't rude, just strange. He didn't say much and kept to himself, but what stood out most was his habit. He talked to himself, loudly, confidently, and everywhere around the house. I noticed it the first morning. I was in the kitchen making breakfast when I heard him in the living room. "So, if you make that move, you're putting the night in danger. Come on, think." I walked in confused. Kevin was pacing in front of the fireplace, mumbling animatedly and pointing as if he was teaching an invisible class. "Good morning," called out. He froze, turning red. "Oh, hey Jessica. Sorry, I was just rehearsing for my debate tournament. I do mock sessions to practice my arguments." "Oh," I said, relieved. "That's impressive. Carry on." From that day, it became clear that Kevin didn't limit his rehearsals to just the living room. He did it in the hallway, in the kitchen, outside on the porch, in the bathroom. Yes, I heard him through the door. And even while brushing his teeth. First I found it quirky. Endearing even. He was passionate and it showed. But soon it started getting out of hand. One night, I got up to grab water and nearly screamed when I heard a voice in the laundry room. I opened the door, and there was Kevin in his pajamas, passionately delivering an argument about climate change to a row of hanging shirts. "Kevin," I whispered, startled. "What are you doing?" He blinked at me. "Practicing. It's 2 a.m. He looked at the time on his phone. "Oh, I didn't realize. Sorry." The next day I told Mark about it. "He's been doing that forever," Mark said with a chuckle. "It's how he learns. He's got this thing where he has to move around while thinking." "I get that," I replied. "But the everywhere part is starting to affect the house. I found him rehearsing a courtroom scene in our closet the other day. With my heels on." Mark burst out laughing. "You're kidding." "I wish I was." Things escalated when I had guests over. My best friend Rachel came to stay with us for the weekend, and we were having coffee in the sunroom when Kevin strolled in holding a broom like a microphone. And the prosecution has failed to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt. He stopped dead in his tracks, staring at us. Sorry." He slowly backed out. Rachel raised an eyebrow. "Is he okay?" "He's just expressive." That evening, Kevin came to me apologetically. "I'm sorry if I embarrassed you earlier." "No, it's okay," I told him. "But maybe save the rehearsals for your room when we have company." He nodded. "Got it." But he didn't stop. He just got sneakier. I started finding odd props around the house. Duct tape over cereal boxes labeled Exhibit A. Our dog's chew toy used as a pretend gavel, and handwritten scripts with courtroom drama lines scattered on the dining table. One afternoon, I was on a video call for work when Kevin walked behind me, shirtless, holding a spatula like a sword, and said, "The war begins at dawn, gentlemen." I hit mute just in time. My coworkers were too stunned to react. That night, I finally sat down with him. "Kevin, I admire your creativity. Truly. But this acting and arguing all over the house is becoming disruptive." He looked down, genuinely embarrassed. "I don't mean to be disruptive. When I'm in motion, ideas flow better. I've tried sitting still and writing. It doesn't work for me." Softened. "Maybe there's a compromise. Like designated spaces. Your room, the garage, even the basement. Somewhere private." He nodded slowly. "Okay. That sounds fair." For a while it worked. The house was peaceful again. But it didn't last. One afternoon, I came home to find Kevin filming himself in the backyard in a full suit and tie, arguing passionately at a tree stump. "What's happening?" he asked. He looked excited. "I entered an online acting contest. I needed a dramatic monologue. Want to help me judge the take?" I sat with him and watched as he replayed the scene. To my surprise, he was really good. Not just energetic but nuanced, emotional and compelling. "You've got real talent," I said, impressed. He smiled shyly. "Thanks. I want to apply for NYU's drama program next year." It hit me then. Kevin wasn't just acting randomly for attention. He was dedicated. The house was his stage, and every room gave him inspiration. After that, I changed how I saw things. I started working with him instead of against him. I helped him draft scripts, gave him feedback, and let him rehearse in the garage freely, no matter the hour. Mark even built him a mini stage setup with curtains and lights in the basement. Soon Kevin's videos started going viral. He gained a following on TikTok and YouTube for his funny, dramatic, and often emotional monologues shot around the house. One day, he even got a call from a casting agent in LA. By the time graduation rolled around, Kevin had offers from 2 theater programs and an independent film director wanting him to audition. The boy who once rehearsed in our closets and bathrooms now had a future in the spotlight. At his graduation party, Kevin raised a toast. "I want to thank my dad for giving me stability, and Jessica, for turning our home into a stage when I needed it most. Even when I was annoying, weird, and loud. Thank you for letting me be me." My eyes welled up. All the pacing, talking, odd hours, and misplaced props suddenly felt like building blocks toward something bigger. That night, I found a sticky note on my nightstand in Kevin's handwriting. "P.S. I still do it everywhere in the house. I just wear headphones now so you don't have to hear the madness. Love, Kevin." Kevin left for college that fall. The house felt strangely quiet. I missed the sudden bursts of monologues from the hallway and the odd props showing up in the fridge. I even missed walking into impromptu performances in the living room. Every once in a while, Kevin would send us video links to his latest uploads. And whenever he came home on breaks, he brought back new characters, new energy, and fresh chaos. But this time we welcomed it. Because now, we knew that what once seemed like a disruptive habit was really a spark. One that lit the way for something extraordinary.